Hey guys, I wanted to go over lesson 2 for in your science assignment for your science assignment this week for the week of April 13th. Our lesson is on how scientists use tools to discover things and to study different things that they're trying to figure out in scientific ways. And so, how do scientists use tools? So you envision it there on page 308. Says, circle 2 tools that help you see things that are very small. And so all across here, this is sort of a collage of different tools that a scientist might use. And only 2 of those things are tools that can help you see things that are very small. We have a hand lens here, and these are things that we've used in the classroom before when we were studying rocks. Some goggles that are going to be there for eye protection. Gloves to protect your skin from anything that you might have to touch in a science lab that might hurt you in some way. Some paper towels to clean up messes. A microscope. A jacket. A lab coat, sorry. That looks like a sponge, a timer, and this right here is a measuring tool that would measure liquids or solids such as like sand and that sort of thing. Okay, so what are the 2 tools that would help you see things that were very small? And so on this part right here, you should have circled the hand lens and the microscope. If you have the tools at home, which you probably don't have a microscope, but you may have a magnifying glass of some kind at home that you could use, or you can also use a phone these days to take a picture of something and then zoom in, or even look at it through the the camera app on a phone or a tablet, and zoom in and see things up really close up that you can't see with just the naked eye. And so if you choose to do that, that's great. You can write some things here if you want to tell me about that. All right, so what will we know this week? Our big question is that we're going to unlock, and what we're going to learn is I will know how to use tools to do science, and I will know how to do science safely. One of the most important things about scientific experiments and things of that nature is safety. And so we have to be sure that we're doing things in a manner that doesn't cause anyone harm. And so safety is very important. But today we're just going to talk about the tools that scientists use. And I'm going to read through this paragraph here, and hopefully you have your science book out and you're reading along, or you can read along on the screen. Scientists use many different kinds of tools. A tool is an object or device used to perform a task. The tool you use depends on the task. And the task is the job that you're doing. Tools can help you measure objects or gather information. You can measure volume, temperature, length, distance, mass, and more with the proper tools. Measurements give you exact observations that you can share with others. Scientists choose different tools based on how exact they need their measurements to be. So it shows some pictures down here of some different types of objects, tools that scientists would use to measure things. And a balance would be used to measure mass. Just to discover maybe which one of these is, which side is heavier, which object is heavier and lighter than the other. You can also place weights over here on one side of a particular amount. Let's say you did 10 ounces of weights on this side, and you thought that something measured, you were trying to discover if something was 10 ounces or less, you would place your other object over here. And if it was if this side lifts up, then you would know that it would be less than 10 ounces. And if it goes down and lifts your weights up over here, you would know it would be this side weighs more than 10 ounces. This is a graduated cylinder, and it's used to measure volume. So you could use this to measure liquids, a measuring cup, teaspoons, measuring spoons, and those kinds of things are also used to measure volume. Use a metric ruler to measure length and distance. Okay, so you may have a ruler at home. You probably have tape measures that you have used, especially if you've done any sort of home projects with your parents and helping to measure some things. And it's always kind of fun to go to measure some stuff just to see how long or how high something is. Some of you may even have on a doorpost at your house how tall you are, where your parents have kind of marked it off. I know we did that with our boys as they were growing up, and so we marked how tall they were and put the date there. But all right, so question number 1 says underline 2 things that tools help you do. And so we're going to go back to the text, and we're going to look for 2 things that tools help you do. So if you want to pause the video for a minute before I give the answer, and you find the answer to those, I want you to do that. All right, so in the passage here, in this text, it tells us that tools can help you measure objects or gather information. There's one thing that tools help us do. And that's not even the first one that's mentioned, right? There's another one. A tool is an object or device used to perform a task. So a tool helps you perform a task, and it can also help you measure objects or gather information. So infer, and we know that infer, the word infer means, we use this a lot in reading lessons, we infer when we use what the text says, what we can find evidence of in the text, and what we already know about something in our brains. That's called prior knowledge, the knowledge that we already have about something, okay? So infer says, circle the measurement that is more exact. So you have 2 here. This one says about 5 centimeters, and this one says 5.3 centimeters. Which one of those is more exact? And of course, that word about kind of gives us a clue that that's not it. 5.3 centimeters is an exact measurement. If we say about, then we know that that's an estimate. And so 5.3 centimeters is exact. The next video will cover the next 2 pages.